Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you could tell by the title, I am going to be trying some new makeup, well, new to me makeup that I bought from Sephora during the VIB sale that just happened a couple weeks ago. I didn't need anything else, okay? I did not. But every year around my birthday, I do like to do a little haul of makeup because honestly, typically during the year, I don't really do big hauls. I'll just buy like a couple things here and there. But usually around my birthday is when I decide to actually buy like more than 2 things at a time. So in this video, I will be testing out those products and just showing you guys how I use them to get this lovely look that you see right here. And also, hopefully, if I can stay on track with my editing schedule. If you're watching this on the day that this video is uploaded, today's my birthday. Hey, it's your birthday, it's your birthday, it's your birthday, it's your birthday. Honestly, I don't really like care about birthdays that much. Like I care about other people's birthdays, but when it comes to my own, I'm really indifferent. I'm like, listen, it's another day. If anything, we need to be celebrating my mom who gave birth to me and not me, because I had no part in this, okay? I was complicit in my own birth. What am I talking about? Anyways, let's go ahead and start this video and I will show you guys how I achieved this creamy gold birthday look. So yes, as you can tell, I do have my brows done already. To do my brows, I used the NYX brow glue. I have been obsessed with that. I'm pretty sure I already said that in a previous video, but that brow glue is amazing. It's the only brow product that does exactly what I want a brow product to do. It is just amazing, and it's also like $8. So for today's eyeshadow look, I am going to be using the Rustic Glam eyeshadow palette by Dominique Cosmetics. Let's go ahead and zoom you guys in and I will show you guys how I got this eyeshadow look. So my eyelids are already primed. As you can tell, my eyelids are not naturally one color. They're actually the darkest part of my whole face. So I do use a little bit of concealer as well as regular eyeshadow primer just to get my eyelids ready for makeup. Immediately after I applied the concealer and the eyeshadow primer, I went in with a tan shade from this palette, which is called Free Spirit. And I just used that to kind of set my eyeshadow primer. It's technically a myth that you have to set your eyeshadow primer, but it's just a force of habit for me and it doesn't hurt, so that's why I do it. So I'm gonna start off with the green shade in this palette, which is called Cactus. It's kind of like a cool toned greeny blue, and I just think it's such a unique color, and this is one of the colors that really attracted me to this palette, so I knew I wanted to use it today as I sit here blending my life away. What is up, you guys? It has been so long since I've actually sat down and done like a full tutorial. I feel like it's literally been months. Yesterday was the last day of my undergrad. Hey! Well, when I'm filming this, yesterday was the last day of my undergrad, not when you're watching this. As happy as I am to be finished, I also feel kind of sad. That being said, just a couple days ago, I actually found out that I got accepted into, oh, hello, Stray Eyelash. Yeah, I just found out that I got accepted to do my master's program at another school in the city, and I am beyond excited. Like, I honestly cannot wait. I don't know, I've always liked school. I know that's kind of like, oh, she's not like other girls, she actually likes school, but I actually like school. Okay, just to pause, I'm gonna take the brown shade here called Suede. But yeah, I actually genuinely do enjoy like sitting in lectures and listening to professors speak, but the only thing I don't like is being evaluated. That's what I don't like. Other than that, I think school is great. Is this just like an ad to go to school? I'm sorry, that's not what this video is supposed to be. There is quite a bit of kickback in the pan. Personally, that doesn't bother me too much because usually that means that the shades are going to be more pigmented on your actual eyes. So that's like a small sacrifice that doesn't bother me. I've never tried anything from Dominique Cosmetics before, and during the Sephora sale, I saw that this palette was 50% off. 50! So I had to get it. You know what? One day I really do want to go live and just do my makeup live for you guys because I wish you could tell me right now if this looks equal. I think it does. Does it? Yeah, I think that's pretty equal. All right, well, we'll keep it like this. So now for my lid shade, I'm gonna go in with this light green metallic, and this shade is called Wanderlust. Why did I say it like that? Wanderlust. Wanderlust? Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. So usually I do use my fingers for metallics, but that's pretty nice just with a brush by itself. That's very good. I honestly don't think I have any color like this in my whole collection, and this is the other color that really drew me into this palette. So again, I knew I had to try it today. So I'm just gonna take a skinny baby brush, pick up some of that metallic, and really create the shape to give the illusion that I did a cut crease. Is that even? Oh god. I'm sorry, I cannot talk and do this at the same time. I have to focus very hard to make sure that this is like precise. So I'm just gonna take some on my finger and tap it just in the middle where I want the pigmentation to be more vibrant. I don't usually use colors like this that are pretty cool toned or even neutral. Usually I am just a straight up warm eyeshadow kind of girl, but I really like this, especially for my skin tone. I feel like these kind of greens look really nice. Interesting. So if you know me at all, you know that I cannot resist a good gold eyeshadow. So I'm gonna dip my finger into this shade called Bohemian, and I'm just gonna tap that on the very outer portion. It's not gonna do much, but I feel like it just adds a little extra dimension and it looks really pretty. I almost burped as I said that. I'm so sorry. This is what happens when I intentionally say I'm gonna film a talkative video. I just don't shut up. So that's pretty much it for the top portion of our eye look. So I'm gonna go off camera, clean up, what? I'm gonna go off camera, clean up this fallout, and we will be back to do our base routine. For primer today, I wanted to go in with something a little more hydrating. So I'm using the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip primer. You guys have seen me use this probably a million times now, so you know the deal. I think I meant to say you know the drill, but anyways, let's just get our face nice and grippy. Is that an adjective? So while I wait for the primer to kind of sink into my skin, I'm actually going to do some highlighting under my foundation. So to do that, I have the Danessa Myricks Beauty Dew Wet. Get it? Like dew and then wet. This is a highlighting facial balm, and this is in the shade Morning Dew, and I don't know if it's gonna pick up on camera. Yeah, you can see I clearly did swatch this already, but it's just a clear balm that has a little bit of sparkle in it. And I wanted this because if you guys have been on my channel for a long time, you know that my favorite highlighting balm I've ever tried is by Ciate London, and it is their Dewy Sticks. I totally ran out of my Dewy Sticks, and this was a couple dollars cheaper. So I was like, okay, it's the same concept. Hopefully it'll be good. Let's try it out. I just want to tap it on to my cheeks. Ooh, very shiny. I have a feeling this is something that's gonna look really, really pretty, like in sunlight. Like if you had to take those like golden hour photos, I think this would definitely look really nice for that. And let's just go again here. Oh, I really like this so far. If we need more after I finish my foundation, I can just tap a little more on top. But usually with this kind of product, I do just apply it underneath foundation. So we'll see. But so far, I like it. I feel like I make the ugliest faces. I'm like, I like it. Like, why do I do that? Why can't I just smile and be like, I really like this? Anyways, all right, so for foundation, during the Sephora sale, I repurchased the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, and this is my old bottle. I have the new bottle sitting still in its box because I wanted to finish this one out, but you know, technically I did purchase this during the sale. So this is my summer shade, Toasty Toffee. I wanted to mix this with the Fenty Beauty skin tint. So if you haven't seen my review on the skin tint, I will link it in the description. But basically I have the shade 13, and this is definitely my winter shade. And like I said, this is my summer shade. So if you mix winter and summer, what do you get? Spring. And we're in spring, right? So I think this should be a really good combination, but we'll see. So I have this little orange I don't know. I call this a squeegee. I don't know what it's actually called. I'm going to mix them together on here, kind of as if I had a glass palette, because I ain't got time to buy a glass palette, okay? So let's take a couple drops of the Fenty Beauty. That was more than a couple drops, but you know what? It's fine. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to balance this on my leg. I'm like, please do not spill. So I'm gonna give this a good shake because this is like 2 years old at this point, which is why I had to get a new one. And it's also running out. Oh my God, it's bubbling. Oh, do you see that bubble? Please don't fall. I have some product in the lid here. I'm gonna scrape it off with my brush. And I'm gonna mix the two foundations together. The Estee Lauder is very much like a full coverage matte finish, whereas the Fenty Beauty Skin Tint is kind of more of a natural finish, and it's very lightweight compared to Estee Lauder. So I think these two should play well together. We'll see. Excuse me, I'm gonna be turning 22. 22! That is a lot of years, I feel like. Definitely, I have people older than 22 watching this, and they're like, listen, if you think you are old, you need to sit down. And I understand. In my heart, sometimes I still feel like I am 19 and I just started school. I'm not like a full adult yet, you know what I mean? But now that I'm 22, I'm like, should I be doing something? So many people from my high school are engaged or married, and I'm like, aren't we the same age? How are you married? What are you doing? If you're one of those people, congratulations. But the thought of being a whole wife right now, like, doesn't even make sense in my brain. I'm gonna take a little more on my nose because I feel like I kind of don't have too much coverage. It's just weird because at this age, you have people, like I said, people your age are getting married. People are pregnant. Some people are now starting school, you know? It's just odd. It's just a very interesting age to be in. I am seriously loving this combination for foundation. I think it looks really nice. And you can see the highlighter is still peeking through just a tiny bit. I have two concealers that I wanted to use in this video. The first one is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is my old one. Again, in the Sephora sale, I repurchased this, but in this video, I wanted to use out my old one. This is honestly like hanging on for dear life because I've had it for maybe 2 years and it's not empty yet. And if I could recommend any product for you guys to try from Sephora and you're like me and you're obsessed with concealer, it has to be this concealer because one bottle will last you a couple years very easily. Now, should you keep a product for a couple years? Maybe not. I mean, I haven't had any problems. So let's blend this out around the mustache. The reason why I love this concealer specifically and in this shade, which I think is Warm Sand, yes, the shade Warm Sand, is it is very orange toned, and because of that it works really well as a color corrector. So I feel like this is one concealer that I always have to have in my routine. Normally I would take that concealer under my eyes before going on top of it with a brighter concealer, but the other concealer that I have today, where is it, is apparently very full coverage. So I was like, maybe I should try it on its own. This is very risky if you're like me and you have extremely dark circles, but I wanted to give it a shot. So this concealer is also by Danessa Myricks, and this is the Vision Cream Cover 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. I have the shade NO6. So let's take some on my hands. I don't want too much. I'm scared. Ooh. Let's start off with a little bit because it's very easy to add product. It's very hard to take it away. The problem with using new concealers is I never know how much you're actually supposed to use. So, okay, let's start off with that. That's a lot. And I didn't even dip it in that hard. What have I gotten myself into?
That's too much, man!
So as per usual, I do like to take my concealer and just kind of cut out my eyeshadow. Okay, now that that layout is there, I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender. Oh, wow. This is full coverage, sweetie. Look. Stop it. Do I not have to color correct when I use a concealer? Because if that is the case, I am honestly going to throw a party. Holy smokes! I am very impressed. For a while, I was debating between this shade and whatever the next shade lighter is, but I'm happy I got this shade because it's not too like over brightening, but it's also lighter than my skin tone, so I feel like it works perfectly. Do you see the difference a good concealer can make? I don't normally call myself a catfish, but I think this is the ultimate catfish concealer. It has been my dream to find a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape because for some reason Ulta stopped shipping to Canada, which like totally broke my heart. But because of that, I can no longer get Tarte Shape Tape unless I go to the States and go to Ulta, but it's COVID times and the borders are closed. So I have been searching for probably 2 years now to find a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape, and I genuinely think this is the closest I've ever come. It does look like it has a little bit of a natural finish, which is why I feel like you guys can see some of that shine, but oh my goodness, that is amazing. Okay, I'm really trying to not make this video 45 minutes long, so I'm gonna go off camera, cover up my other eye, and just put some setting powder under my eyes, and we'll be back to do the rest of the face. Okie dokie, I am back, and I actually look like a real human being now that I have concealer on. I really just experienced love at first sight with this concealer. I don't want to speak too soon because this is my first time using it, but I think this might be better than Tarte Shape Tape. Is that blasphemy? I don't know. So to set my under eye concealer, I use the Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Honey. And to set the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with this powder that I purchased during the sale. And this is the KVD Lock-It Finishing Powder in the shade Medium. So this is what the shade looks like. It's not a perfect match. It is a little lighter, but it's a translucent powder. It's not like a powder foundation, so having the shade be a little bit lighter is not a problem. Something I wanted to talk about with you guys was YouTube channels that I am currently loving, obsessed with, cannot stop watching. I know a lot of my viewers are in the same age demographic as me, so a lot of you guys, if you were in school, you're definitely done school now, like your semester is finished. So I wanted to share with you guys some YouTube channels that I really like, that now if you have more free time you can watch them if you were looking for something new to watch. The first channel I wanted to talk about is called Observe, and I forget what the guy's name is, what his actual name is, but his channel is called Observe, and he does like a lot of true crime kind of stuff, and he is a body language analyst. And he basically will go through footage of people, like it can be like murderers and stuff, or it could also be James Charles. Anyways, I don't want to get sued, but basically he just does body language analysis. Every time he releases a video, I watch it right away. I'm hooked. As I do some bronzer here, another channel that I really love is actually a podcast, and this is the podcast called Sweet Boys. I'm sure a lot of you probably watch it, but just in case, it's run by two guys named Andrew and Garrett. A lot of you probably recognize them from their former associations with somebody that we no longer support here on this channel, but basically they just have their podcast and it is the best thing ever. Everybody says this in the comments of their videos, but I truly feel like they are the soulmate version of best friends. Like, they're just hilarious. They don't really talk about anything on their podcast. It really feels like you're just intruding on like two friends having a conversation at 3 a.m. But I love it. Like, it's very relaxing usually. Oh, I'm filming this on a Wednesday, so I'm pretty sure they actually will have a new episode coming out. So I'm gonna go watch that after I film this. Yeah, they're very relaxing. I watch them while I'm like eating dinner or while I'm doing my makeup, and it's just a good time. I think we're good on bronzer for now, so let's go ahead and dig into some blush. This blush, I have not tried it yet. I've been saving it for a video. This is also by KVD, and this is the Everlasting Blush in the shade Fox Glove. So this is what the shade looks like. It is very much so a cool toned pink, so I feel like it's gonna look good with the cool toned kind of eye. we have going? I hope so. We'll see. I don't really know anything anyways. So speaking of podcasts, another podcast that I really, really love is called Big Mood. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the YouTube channel JK News. They also used to have JK Party. They used to have Ask the Feels. But basically it's like the same set of people just featured on different channels. And this podcast is basically made from the girls on the channel, or the ladies I should say. Basically in each episode there's like 5 or 4 ladies, and they just give you honestly really good advice. I have an older sister. I love my older sister. She's probably watching this, okay? I love you, sis. But watching this podcast is like having 5 older sisters who just know everything. Well, maybe not everything, but it's like having 5 sisters who are very, very wise, and they talk about like a wide range of topics. So obviously they do talk about relationships because a lot of people want to know like what they think about certain things, but they also talk about like finances. They talk about, you know, growing up as a woman in 2021, all of that good stuff. So I definitely recommend checking them out if you have the time. Also, all of these channels will be linked in the description, so, you know, easy access. Okay, I don't want to go overboard on blush. I feel like that's enough. The last channel that I really wanted to recommend to you guys, her name is Smokey Glow. I'm sure a lot of you guys also know her because she has blown up. I feel like in the past like maybe 6 months, her channel has really blown up, and I'm so happy for her. I think she's incredible. She is so funny, so relatable. She reminds me of myself in a lot of ways because I feel like both of us are not like the most sophisticated or like detail-oriented makeup gurus on the platform. And that's not a diss to her, okay? She even says that herself. She says that she is not like, you know, like Nikki Tutorials, who does these super in-depth makeup looks. She says it herself. She's nothing like that, but I like it because I'm also nothing like that. And she does a feature on her channel that's called Candle of the Day, where every video she features a new candle and she tells you guys if she likes it or if she doesn't like it. Like, we have so many candles in our house that nobody used for literally years. And once I started watching her channel, I was like, you know what? Maybe I do like candles. And now, ever since I've been watching her channel, I have been obsessed with candles as well. So, very interesting. I feel like I'm a person who I just absorb the personality of my favorite YouTubers. Are you guys like that as well? Or even like my favorite character on a show that I'm watching, I feel like I just absorb their personality. And that's the personality I will have for the next couple of months. Do you guys do this too? I feel like it's normal, but nobody talks about it. But yeah, those are just a couple of channels that I really recommend if you have some extra time on your hands to watch some more YouTube. So now we're gonna go ahead and put some color on the lower lash line because I look a little naked. I do want to go back in with the green. I think I'm gonna start off with this shade. What is this shade called? Fringe. Let's start off with that and see what it does, or if it even does anything on my skin tone. No, I'm getting some creasing with this concealer. I mean, it's nothing major, but it is more creasing than I would normally have with my Tarte Shape Tape. So that's a little concerning, but if it doesn't get worse than this, then I'll be fine. But if it starts to crease more than this, then we might have a problem. I'm gonna go back in with the green shade and let's see if we can build that up right in the center. Now, this eyeshadow palette, what I've noticed, it's not super pigmented like upon first application. So if you guys have used, for example, any eyeshadow palette by Juvia's Place, you know that those palettes, it's very easy to go overboard because they are so highly like concentrated in pigment. So this isn't like that, but I feel like there's a time and a place for both kinds of formulations. This is definitely the kind of formula where you'll have to work with it a little more and just spend a little more time building up the pigment, but that's not something that bothers me at all. Like, if I have the time, I seriously don't mind sitting down for half an hour just doing eyeshadow. But I know for some people they don't prefer that, but personally I don't mind. And this kind of formula is actually one that I tend to gravitate towards a little more than like straight up highly pigmented eyeshadows. Okay, This is very much giving me like I'm in a desert, you know? So just to finish up the outer corner, I'm gonna go back in with the brown shade, which was called Suede. And I'm just going to push it into my lash line. So I quickly hopped off camera to grab my setting sprays because I forgot to bring them with me here. And when I went off, I just took a random gold highlighter and just popped it on the inner corner of my eyes. For setting spray, I have two different sprays that I'm going to use today. The first one is the Benefit Professional, which I'm going to use in the center of my face. And then on the outer portions of my face, I'm going to spray the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist setting spray. Alright, so I'm going to give that a second to sink into my skin. Both of those sprays smell so good. The smell doesn't like linger on your face or anything, but it's just nice, like as you apply it, it feels like you're kind of getting a shower. I just looked at myself up close and I realized when I was waxing my stash, I missed like a whole section. Anyways, I'm gonna take my sponge and just press that setting spray into my skin. As per usual, I'm going to curl my lashes. So for mascara, I have the Benefit They're Real Whoa, she's a runner, she's a track star. Yes, I have the Benefit Magnet Mascara. I bought the full size version of this during the Sephora sale because I have absolutely fallen in love. Speaking of falling in love, I realized that when I was talking about YouTube channels that I have been loving, I totally forgot to mention Frenemies. I'm sure, again, that a lot of you guys watch Frenemies, but if you were on the fence about watching it like I was for so long, honestly, do it. If you don't know, the podcast is run by Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein. I feel like I just said their names really weird, but it's because I'm trying to focus, so I'm sorry. They also just have a really interesting dynamic. They're definitely more structured than the Sweet Boys podcast, but they also do have the vibes of like, okay, you're just watching two friends, or in this case, two frenemies hanging out. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. Honestly, I have been a fan of Trisha for years. Like in the earlier days when I just started watching YouTube, like I want to say it was like 2013, I loved Trisha so much. I would watch all of her videos, and then eventually I just started watching like strictly beauty videos, and when I started that kind of stage, I guess, I totally stopped watching her. As you guys know, she is kind of on a little like redemption arc right now, and I'm here for it. She is so funny. One of my favorite things she said in the podcast was she was apologizing to someone. I don't really remember who it was, but she was like, I'm sorry, I'm a fat cow and you're a skinny legend.
You're not fat. If anything, you're skinnier than me. So I am a big fat cow and you're a skinny legend. I'm very, very sorry.
And I cracked up. I literally laughed out loud, which is not something I do very often. They're not primarily a drama channel, but they do address like certain big dramas that happen. So like everything that's going on right now with James Charles and like David Dobrik, they talk about all of that. Obviously it is called Frenemies. They do have like their arguments sometimes, but it is just so worth it. In like the 2-hour episodes, I guarantee you will never be bored. I know I've been talking your ears off, but I promise we're almost done. So now we're just gonna go ahead and do lips. I'm gonna start off with this lip liner. This is the Maybelline lip liner in the shade Raw Chocolate. I don't know if this is gonna look good. I feel like it might be too warm toned for the eye look that we have going, but we'll see. Yes, I kind of did just fill in my whole lips with that, but we're still gonna go in with lipstick on top. I actually think this is discontinued, so sorry, but this is the Maybelline Shine lipstick in the shade Chocolate Lust. So pretty. Do I like that? I mean, I like it, but do I like it with this look? Yeah, I do like it. Okay, you convinced me. I do like it. So that is pretty much it for the makeup portion of this video. I'm gonna go deal with my hair because look at what it looks like. Excuse me. I'm gonna go off camera, fix my hair, and we will be back to wrap up this video. All right, so I am back and this is the finished look. Okay, I do have to say I am having a lot of trouble with these bangs. Like, not the bang. This is just what you're gonna get because I tried really hard and I don't think I got them to sit perfectly. But anyways, that is besides the point. This is my finished face trying new to me products from Sephora that honestly really impressed me. Just to go in order of the products that we tried, let's talk about the Rustic Glam eyeshadow palette. I do like it. I think it could get a little messy because it is kind of prone to having kickback in the pan, but like I said, that does not bother me at all, and if that doesn't bother you, then it really is a good palette. If I had to rate it out of 10 just based off of my first impressions right now, I would probably rate it a 9. Honestly, it was very easy to work with. It has a nice, beautiful mirror inside of the packaging, so can't really go wrong. The Estee Lauder foundation, I've been using it for years, probably like 6 years now. I've been using the Estee Lauder foundation, so I have nothing bad to say about it. I really do like it. Moving on to the highlighting balm. It actually held up. I feel like you can still see where I applied it on my face, even though I put like a full coverage concealer on top of it, so I like it. The concealer by Danessa Myricks. It is very, very good. Right now, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I think it is very, very close to being perfect, but it is creasing a little more than other concealers that I've tried in the past. So for that reason, I can't give it a 10. But in terms of like coverage, it's definitely a 10 out of 10. Like, it is super full coverage. I don't think I would enjoy the formula as a foundation because it is a 2-in-1 foundation concealer, because I think it's just too full coverage for my liking as a foundation, but as a concealer, it's very promising. The finishing powder by Kat Von D. I have used it a couple times. This isn't my first time using it. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's gonna get put to the real test when the weather gets a little warmer and we actually get summer weather, because that's kind of how you can really test a finishing powder. But just in terms of how it looks on my skin, you know, the shade, the overall finish of it, I like it. The KVD blush, it looks really good and they have a lot of shades, but I can't say I would recommend buying it unless it's on sale. It was pretty expensive for a blush, and you can get a lot of solid blushes at the drugstore, or even Morphe has some good blushes, ColourPop has some good blushes. I don't think it's something that is undupable. I think you could probably find something very similar at a lower price, but I do like it. And lastly, just to talk about the Benefit mascara, I love it and I already knew that I loved it, so yeah. I almost forgot to tell you guys about the Too Faced concealer. Like I said, I've been using it for 2 years and they have such a big shade range that I think you should be able to find a couple shades that work for you. If you can find a shade that is a perfect match for your skin tone, you could use it as a foundation and a concealer, and it is honestly like foolproof. It is so good. But yes, with that, I guess that is pretty much it for this video. I hope I didn't bore you to death by all of my talking. That being said, if you have made it to the end of this video, thank you. I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments if you have a birthday coming up soon or a birthday that just recently passed. For me, this is my second birthday in COVID times, and we're probably just gonna order a nice dinner at home and eat. So, but yes, with that, that is pretty much it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!